Hey everybody, this is Rachel from Blue Jane Creations. I just want to wish everybody a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're hailing from. But I wanted to come on really quick and also just do a quick overview video of the current thing I've been working on. I needed to make some children's cards for the fourth and final craft show. And once we're done with that, I should hopefully be on a little bit more consistent schedule in terms of putting content up. So bear with me, craft season is almost over. But like I said, I needed to make some children's cards, and I wanted these to be all happy birthday. So I have to finish off a few things. I'm just finishing the cards with these raindrop gemstones. These are like my current favorite, love them. And I made a bunch of happy birthday sentiments. This is what I have left over in the little pile I can use on other stuff. I kept them small because I didn't want to detract and cover up more of the papers than I had to. So this, you may recognize it for those of you that are familiar with Julia McNeil. Her YouTube channel is Julia McNeil Crafts, and if you have not checked out her channel, I highly recommend it. She is really good with what she does. And her website is JMCDesigns.com, and she is UK based, so if you're here in the States like I am and you put in an order, just know shipping can still be hit or miss. You may get it on time, it could be early, you know. It's just everywhere is a hot mess, especially adding in the Christmas time factor. So I actually purchased this entire collection that I used here. Was a package she had on, I believe Hochanda was still Hochanda at the time before they changed the name. Still the same company, but they were formerly known as Hochanda. But in any case, I don't want to digress. I'm getting pretty good at staying on task these days. So, so what I did to simplify bulk making and, you know, get it down concise where I can really start rolling through it quick. I don't know if you're like me. Previously, it was, sometimes it's a bit of a struggle, particularly if you're doing things where you're kind of under the gun in terms of time. So what I've started doing is I took the collection out, I chopped down all the toppers, then all the background papers, and then I thought yellow cardstock would be the best. That just clicked right away for me. And these 5 are the only exceptions because of being the red and the black, which I love it, but I didn't think it would quite go with the yellow, so I just came in with some white cardstock, chopped it down, did the scoring, and I am using, all these cards are the A2 size, which is 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches. And then I just did the matting that you see here with some solid red cardstock. And then these I did finish with the raindrops. I think you can see them in the camera. Let me see if I can bring it up without blasting anything. So yeah, so I just wanted a little something to finish the cards off, but I didn't want to add too much to detract from the papers. I'm a firm believer in letting the paper speak to you and sort of guide you in what you should do with it. And so I came in with 4 different colors of the matting. I came in with shades of purple, some dark teal, orange, and green, just to mix it up. And I'm trying to think if there's any other important note before I go on to the next thing. Nope, I think I covered all the basics in terms of how I chopped everything down. But it did make it so much easier to just kind of go in rounds, you know, chopped all the ephemera first, all the background papers, did the cardstock, you know, got the card bases ready, and then it was at that point I decided to come in with the matting, and then I went through the papers and kind of figured, ooh, I think green would look good, purple, so on and so forth. And I used some of the, I think I might have missed a couple, but like for the purple, I used purple ink for the happy birthday sentiment. And then on all of them, I edged in the matching color just to kind of lift it a little bit out of that background to kind of match the matting look without actually matting all the little sentiments. And then this is what I have left. Let me show you that first. Because I cannot fussy cut still right now, and I have, to be honest though, I really haven't had a good chance to sit down and practice, but because of this reason, I didn't use any of the cut apart sheets, and I don't know if there's any specific happy birthday. I love these sentiments and they will get used, but again, like I said, I really couldn't use them here because I was making the happy birthday cards for the kids. So these I can set aside and use for another day. And maybe I can take one of the sheets for practicing for the fussy cutting. But yeah, right now my fussy cutting is still a hot mess. I just don't have the feel for it, I guess. So in any case, these are some of the scraps, and whatever I don't use, I can put in a packet with the remaining sentiments and cut aparts. So I just got some random strips of the different background papers, and they're all single-sided, which is nice because then I didn't have to have the painful choice of which side do I use. It's all single-sided, which is a lifesaver for crafting and not having to make that choice. So these are the toppers that I have left, and I just could not, in cutting them down, I could not get them down to the 4 1/4 by 5, or no, I think the background layers I cut down to 5 1/4 and 4 inches because I just absolutely did not want to cut any more from around the butterflies than I had to. So that's why these are slightly larger. So these will probably go on 5 by 7 cards just to use them up. This way I won't be forced to cut any of the butterflies off if I do that. So I have 5 of these left. That's all I have left that has not been used of the topper parts. So then this is what I have left of the background papers. These are the larger sections of the background papers that I have left, which can also be used for cards. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and think about how I want to use them. I did use a couple of these for matting a couple of the images there towards the end, but for the most part I wanted to reserve these for doing some fun cards. Don't know if I'll get to them today. I may not be able to get back to these leftovers until after the craft show. We'll see. I feel pretty sure I have enough for the upcoming craft show with the, if I didn't say it, I did get so far 68 cards out of Julia McNeil's papers. And like I said, I love the colors. I don't know that the camera is really giving them the justice they deserve. And I also, it's still very early here, so I'm working with one desk light right now so I don't blast my own eyeballs. I'm not a light person in the morning. So, like I said, just tried to streamline everything, including the sentiments, like I just did batch stamping on the block and just went down the piece of white cardstock. And then I did a couple in the purple, but it was a little bit too pale for me. I did use them because I didn't want to waste it, but I just ended up going back to using the dark teal to make the sentiments with. So I wish that had been a little bit darker, but that's all right. So then, like I said, I went down, I stamped them into columns. Then I was able to cut each column apart and then just do a quick chopping session. Then I went around and edged them in the matching color once I got them trimmed down. And that part, you know, making it smaller in size from, you know, the cutting off the excess is what I'm trying to say. I just did that by hand. I did the initial chop on my trimmer. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. My paper trimmer. Just because I can't consistently cut a straight line. Well, I don't know that I can ever cut a straight line, but I figured the smaller area to work with, the less opportunity for me to hack it. So that's where I just did the speed chopping with the trimmer, came in and then did the finishing it off with just regular scissors. And then I edged everything and then put them on the cards like you see here. And I don't need to flip through the whole stack, but you can see I've got a whole lot to work with. And this was from the one paper pack collection that I got. So that's pretty good haul. 68 cards so far out of one paper collection. Yeah, that came out pretty good.